And welcome back to our Indy Tech Town Hall from the Union 525 in downtown Indianapolis. Well, he worked for one of the largest tech companies in the world. Then he built one, sold it, and is now building that next big thing. We're talking about Indiana tech titan Scott Dorsey. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Gary. Delighted to be here.
Well, let's look back before we look ahead to ExactTarget, a company you co-founded back in 2000. Talk about starting that company, which is one of obviously the real success stories in Indianapolis and Indiana. But talk about starting that company back in 2000, the environment back then.
It was considerably different.
Yeah.
We had software artistry was really kind of the big exit and success story that then created more momentum within the tech community, but we were just getting started. You know, TechPoint didn't exist, and some of the pressing issues facing the tech community were items like no daylight savings time, no direct flights, and then you look across even Indianapolis and downtown Indy, we still had the old airport, we didn't have world-class hotels and restaurants, so the foundation and infrastructure we have today is so superior to what we had 15 years ago, but it's been a fun journey and fun to be a part of the entrepreneurs and set of companies that have been building that momentum over the last couple decades.
During the process of growing ExactTarget, was there ever a feeling that you might have to move the company?
We really never felt that way. You know, Chris and I both married these wonderful girls from Indianapolis, and we just decided this is where we wanted to build our family and build our companies, and we were fortunate that our investors never applied any pressure to move outside of Indianapolis. I think part of it was that we were always just enthusiasts and champions for the city, and we're very quick to point out kind of all the wonderful attributes of Indianapolis and why growing a tech company in Indy in the state of Indiana was actually preferable to other parts of the country, including the coast.
Salesforce acquired ExactTarget for $2.5 billion in 2013. The Salesforce name is now on top of the state's tallest building. How important was that acquisition, do you think, as you going forward? Does it validate in some respects Indianapolis as a tech hub?
Well, you know, for all of us at ExactTarget, it was just a tremendous journey. You know, we loved building the company and building the culture and being a part of Indy Tech. For Salesforce to acquire ExactTarget was significant, but then even more significant is just their continued investment in the community. And Gary, the Salesforce Tower is just fantastic. You know, it's a wonderful legacy for all of us at ExactTarget, but even more importantly, it's a brand, it's a beacon for our future, and for the city of Indianapolis to be branded a tech city and a tech community and have that tallest building be the Salesforce Tower is really, really terrific. And when we sold the company, it's always bittersweet when you sell a company, but it's certainly been more sweet than bitter because Salesforce is really committed to Indianapolis, and we had a sense that was going to happen. That was certainly part of the early dialogue, but you never know until it really happens. And I'm grateful to Mark Benioff and Salesforce that they keep doubling down in Indianapolis and making a big investment.
Let's talk about what you're doing now. A lot of things, but in particular High Alpha, a venture studio. You and others raised $35 million to make that happen. You're creating new software companies, investing in companies as well. Talk about High Alpha.
Yeah, we're having a blast with High Alpha, Gary. We just hit our 2-year anniversary. Started High Alpha with just amazing partners, Christian Anderson, Mike Fitzgerald, Eric Tobias. We've created what we call a venture studio, and we actually believe it's one of a kind in the United States. We're one part startup studio called High Alpha Studio, one part venture capital firm called High Alpha Capital, and having the two operate under the same roof has some really significant advantages. So on the startup studio side, we have about 20 employees, designers, developers, business analysts, software as a service experts, and we start new companies. And you actually just had one of our new companies on the show last week, Quantify, and very talented RJ Tallier, and we're very optimistic and confident about the future of his leadership in that business.
What's the one big challenge that you see standing in the way of continued momentum here in the Indianapolis region? Yeah,
I really look at it as just scaling companies. And boy, Michael Angelier and TechPoint have been doing a phenomenal job on the talent side. That's an important part of the equation. The next part of the equation is really capital. We need to get more aggressive in how we execute and grow our businesses, and we need to get more aggressive in scale-up capital. And what I mean by scale-up capital is local venture capital firms that can write a $5, $10, $20 million check into a promising software company to really build a breakout, build a category leader.
Scott Dorsey, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Appreciate all you do for Indiana. Thanks for being on the show this week.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
Well, thanks for watching Inside Indiana Business on YouTube. For the latest statewide business news, be sure to visit InsideIndianaBusiness.com and subscribe to our free daily e-newsletters by clicking on the link.